Hey there, Doug Pugh with the NFHS Network, and thanks so much for joining us as we continue to recognize our Florida Dairy Farmers Academic All-State team based on the students' academic and athletic accomplishments, as well as their extracurriculars and their community service. With the support of the Dairy Farmers Association, we'd like to appreciate you and thank you for checking us out. And right now, we're joined on the line from Cambridge Christian out of Tampa, who graduates with a perfect GPA of 4.0, was named an AP Scholar with distinction. He played quarterback on the Lancers football team, also lettered for the basketball squad, and will be attending the United States Military Academy in West Point studying engineering. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mikal Willeke to the call. Mikal, thanks so much for joining us and congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, so in addition to your success in the classroom, which we'll talk about, and your athletic accomplishments, I want to talk about the diversity club that you started at Cambridge Christian. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yes, sir. A buddy of mine on the football team that's a year younger than me, we decided, what was it, 2 years ago, that, coming into a private school when I used to go to public school, it was hard to see all like cliques and everyone was just focused on like wealth. And if you stayed in one group, that's all you kind of clay, especially in a small private school like where I went. So we decided to do something about it. And so we talked to our principal, and we started this thing called GRACE, which stands for Gender, Race, Ability, Culture, and Economic Status. And just figuring out ways to like build barriers between all like the different groups in our schools. Like we had foreign exchange students that for most of my career at Cambridge kind of just stayed by themselves. They come from a whole different country and they just kind of have this one little group, and kind of reaching out to them, reaching out across groups and things like that. We do like devotions anonymously that would get people talking, do events for certain people, um, not specifically in the group that we created, but a group that someone else created that we kind of worked with. They did like this cultural heritage committee, and it like raised awareness for all the different cultures that our school represents. And honestly, it was just a way for like us to develop relationships across different groups and get them to work together. So it was kind
And
of
it
cool.
felt kind of natural that you were able to use the acronym GRACE at a school like Cambridge Christian, and kind of speaks to the level of spirituality and to the mentality that which you're taking, and sort of commitment it takes to be able to carry out that mission as a Christian. And I want to ask you, what was it like for the process? You're going, as mentioned, to West Point in the fall. What was that process like? And what did you tell yourself? And how did you kind of come to the conclusion that this was the commitment that you were going to make?
Um, so yeah, honestly, this like I have no military background. I kind of got introduced into junior year, um, and honestly, just seeing like all the commitment and all just following West Point on like social media and going up there and seeing. I went to like a summer thing over the summer, and just seeing the commitment they had, uh, like hard work and like 24/7 around the clock, working and getting stronger and all the different aspects, physically, emotionally, spiritually, academically. It was just they worked towards all of it, not just academics. So I mean that itself was something that drawn me there and made me say, hey, like I need to focus and get hard, work hard to achieve this goal.
Now, an engineering program at a four-year college, or should we say a traditional college or university, is one thing. Engineering major at West Point can lead you to many other things. Have you thought about where that might take you, or are you just trying to take it one day at a time?
Um, Before this pandemic, I was definitely ready for engineering. Now I'm thinking about doing medical. I don't really know, to be honest. It could change, but I know just seeing like this whole like pandemic has been make me want to become a doctor. I don't know, to be honest with you. Might change my mind, but it's definitely gonna be like I'm definitely gonna have use Army's resources to figure out what I want to do. And they have all sort. There's so much you can do in the Army, which is gonna be cool.
There really is. And so, talking about doing a lot of things, so many things that you can do, there's a pretty rich tradition playing that quarterback position at Cambridge Christian. Jalen Jackson, a few others that have come along the way. you had a lot of success. You played in state playoff games in both sports. Your junior year, you were named offensive MVP of the football team. You threw for over 2,000 yards, 20 touchdowns. When you look back, do you have a favorite memory over one of the other sports, or is it all just kind of like one big awesome memory?
Um, well, first of all, yeah, I love Jalen. He's like I looked up to him as a kid, or not as a kid, when I was a young freshman. And but yeah, honestly, I think the best thing that playing sports was get to play with like my brothers and stuff. I have a freshman brother and a guy who's like my brother who's my age, and playing basketball with them, all three of us on the court, was really fun, especially now that I'm leaving. And then there's like a couple games when my brother went up to the team where we played football together, so that was fun. And I definitely got I like tore my meniscus, so that ruined my senior football career or my senior football year. But especially senior basketball would be like the best memories with my brothers, fully healthy and getting to play with my family, which is fun.
Now, back in the day, you used to see guys three, four, five sports, whatever sport they could play. Then we went into an era of specialization, and now we're back to where we're trying to encourage young athletes to play year round. It doesn't matter if you're playing the same sport. We're looking for guys that can play multiple things. Did you find yourself having a little bit of crossover, or what was your stance on specialization versus playing the multiple sports?
I just love playing like anything. I've always liked doing as much as I could. And I would have played soccer if they would let me to. I tried playing baseball, but basketball. We went to like the regional finals or whatever. And
Mhm.
if I would have, I was working out with the team, and then like the pandemic happened. So honestly, I think the specialization or just doing as much as I can was Cambridge allowed that, which was really cool of them to allow that. You know, if you play football and you go to the postseason, we'll still have you onto the team, and we'll put you right in the mix and stuff like that, which was really fun.
Now you mentioned you had your brothers being able to play with you, and your younger brothers are using you for inspiration. But you list your mom as your biggest inspiration. Can you tell us what she's meant to you over the years?
Um, yeah, even just right now, she's in the other room, like on a phone call with her work. One of the hardest working people I've ever met. She works like, especially during now, she's worked on the phone like around the clock. It's like 8 o'clock at night. She's still working. And even when all of us here, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna make dinner or something like that. She's just like one of the most hardest working people that I've ever met. And it definitely, I mean, just how she cares for people. I mean, I don't know. She's just one of the best people I've ever met, and she's been my role model for my entire life. And she's pointed me and raised me along with my amazing dad. Um, with they've just that I've had the best parents, and it's been so cool um, to be with them for 2 months now inside.
Yeah. But it's something that we're all having to get adjusted to. There's seniors in college that probably feel like they're already grown adults that are having to go back and live under mom and dad's roof. But with that sort of inspiration around, I don't think it hurts anything whatsoever to be able to be reminded of what it takes. And you're getting ready to go to West Point, so you probably are being reminded that you've got to stay close to that structure every day, I would imagine.
Yes, sir.
Now, real quick before we get you out of here, there's a new sheriff in town. He's wearing number 12. We know that you're in Tampa. You're right there, and Cambridge is located just not too far from Raymond James Stadium. What's your thoughts on the Buccaneers and Tom Brady coming to the city?
Oh, I mean, we have the goat. Hopefully, he can bring us the Super Bowl number 7. Um, I mean, I've always was a Jameis Winston supporter. We'd play at Skyway, and he was always out there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool. Like that was our practice facility. So
Right.
I mean, go Bucks! Tom Brady bring us a championship. You hear me?
Well, it's been a long time, but we want to thank you so much, Michael. Congratulations, all the best, and we can't wait to see what you get done up at West Point, and whatever it is you decide to do with yourself. I think you're going to be all right. We thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, you're quite welcome. And just like Michael and everybody else on the Academic All-State team, with the support of the Florida Dairy Farmers Association, you can check out all of the members of this team at the FHSAA's Twitter site and their Facebook pages. That's all for now. Thank you so much for joining us.